I've been single for 3 years.
Why does no one lie feel so alone? Can I get a good morning text or what? Is love even real? Alone forever.
Well, I mean, yeah, sometimes. But I mean, to be fair, I've also felt,
Wow, I can get so much more. I don't have to check in with anybody. My life is full of friends and no one can bust my This is who I am now.
recently I listened to the audiobook Deeper Dating by Ken Page, and he really articulated a lesson that I've been learning in my romantic life. So according to Page, we're all wired to experience two kinds of attraction. Attractions of inspiration and attractions of deprivation. So for the sake of the video, I'm gonna use Prince Charles and his son, Prince Harry, as examples. Disclaimer, I don't know them, blah, blah, blah. It's just an example I'm using based on the public perception we've curated of who we think they are, given their public appearances, which probably doesn't accurately reflect the multidimensional human beings they are, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Say you meet both of these princes. Prince Harry, who represents attractions of inspiration, brings out the best in you.
Everything was just perfect. It was this beautiful woman just tripped and fell into my life. I fell into her life. She chooses me and I choose her. And therefore, you know, whatever we have to tackle together or individually will always be us together as a team. So I think she's capable
So
of...
nicely said, isn't it?
Prince Charles, as attraction of deprivation, fuels all your insecurities.
And I suppose in love.
Of course.
Whatever in love means.
You'll find yourself strongly attracted to both of these princes. I know, you'd think that if you met Charles, you would like run the other way, but unfortunately you would be equally attracted to him as you would be to Harry. And though both of these connections have the potential to grow into deep attachments, only attractions of inspiration lead to mutually loving, caring, and supportive relationships.
Very excited to announce that Megan and myself had a baby boy early this morning, a very healthy boy. Mother and baby are doing incredibly well. It's been the most amazing experience I could ever possibly imagine.
Whereas attractions of deprivation,
It's rather a grown-up thing, I found. Rather a shock to my system.
relationships from an attraction of deprivation often means that you end up being with a partner who criticizes you, makes you feel inadequate, or is emotionally unavailable.
Do you think Mrs. Parker Bowles was a factor in the breakdown of your marriage?
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
But the hard thing is that in the beginning, both of these attractions will feel the same, like good chemistry and interest. And it's harder for us to discern who's actually igniting our best self and who's triggering all of our insecurities and self-worth issues. But there is some good news. According to Page, 90% of our attractions won't be to inspiration or to a literal prince. In order to tell which attraction is which, he advises that when you first meet someone, ask yourself the following questions. Do you feel a warm and natural connection? Is this person engaged and genuinely interested? Do they seem to have integrity? Nurturing attractions of inspiration will lead to relationships where you feel comfortable, loved, and accepted.
How did you first meet?
Yes, we first met. We were introduced actually by a mutual friend.
The thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, well, is he nice? Because if he wasn't kind, it didn't seem like it would make sense. And so we went and met for a drink, and then I think very quickly into that we said, well, what are we doing tomorrow? We should meet again.
What are we doing tomorrow? Let's meet again. And then it was like, right, diaries. We need to get the diaries out and find out how we're going to make this work.
But okay, some of those questions, they just sound like you might just be on a great date. So how are you really supposed to know in the long term which attraction is which? Page's solution is based on his assertion that we all have core gifts. Things like ambition or generosity or kindness, traits that we offer our friends, the world, and most importantly, the people that we date. And he also says that if we don't fully recognize or value our core gifts, then we're more drawn to people who diminish them or take advantage of them, manifesting in more attractions to deprivation. Fun. So the first step he advises to take is to figure out what exactly your core gifts are. So think of a time when someone gave you a compliment about a facet of yourself and you felt really seen or understood or touched. This is likely one of your core gifts.
She's capable of anything.
Now say one of your core gifts is charm. You're inherently likable, popular, and adored. To find an attraction of inspiration, you want to find someone who cherishes that core gift instead of resenting you for it.
Everybody always said when we were in the car, oh, we're on the wrong side. We want to see her, we don't want to see him. And that's all we could hear as we went down these crowds. And obviously, he wasn't used to that, nor was I. He took it out on me, he was jealous. I understood the jealousy, but I couldn't explain that I didn't ask for it.
Because when you have a partner who not only rejects your core gift, but is jealous of it, they'll diminish it. And you.
I've come to the conclusion that really it would have been far easier to have had 2 wives. To have covered both sides of the street. And I could have walked down the middle, directing the operation.
Princess Diana very famously talked about how one of her core gifts was her strength. But instead of amplifying Diana's strength, instead of valuing her ability to be a leader, her husband and his family saw it as a threat. But in Attractions of Inspiration, our core gifts are mutually celebrated.
No, look, both of us have passions for wanting to make change for good, and you know, with lots of young people running around the Commonwealth, that's where we're going to spend most of our time, hopefully.
And it was really one of the first things we connected on. It was one of the first things we started talking about when we met, was just the different things that we wanted to do in the world and how passionate we were about seeing change. I think that was, that's what got date 2 in the books, probably.
Plenty to talk about.
And when I think back on all my quote-unquote bad relationships, I can say that this holds up for me personally. A huge reason those relationships ended and were kind of toxic were either because core aspects of myself were resented, denied, or just not valued, or I didn't value the core gifts of my partner.